What's up, everybody? Eric here. Just finished cleaning up my 2019 YZ250F. Just getting it dialed in for this coming weekend. Big race coming up, regional qualifier for Loretta's at Kevin Wyndham's track. So that'll be a big race, trying to get the bike just dialed in for that. And I also just wanted to make a video just kind of showing some of the changes I've made since I got the bike. I've had it about 6 months now. So I've done some small stuff here and there, not a whole lot just because the bikes come so good nowadays, but I've done a few things and I just wanted to show you guys it's stuff that I would do to any bike I get, new, used, whatever. So I'll run through that and then also show you all how I go about cleaning the bike and how I get it as clean as it is right now. So we'll go ahead and check out some of those things. Alright, so now I'm going to go over some of the modifications I made to it, you know, the actual bike itself, to help the performance. So these are some tips and tricks you can do. First off, we'll start with the whole shot device. I always put one on my bike just because I race a good bit and it helps with the starts, keeping the front end down. That is the Works connection one. So I got one of those right away. They're pretty easy to put on and work super well, so I always like to have that on the bike. Next, I'll talk about the levers. I got some ASV levers that I put on the bike, clutch and brake levers. These are the unbreakable ones, so they really, you know, help when you have a fall, you know, to prevent your levers from breaking. So those should last a super long time. They also look really cool, so that's something I always put on a bike right away, is unbreakable levers. Next, swap the stock grips out for some Pro Taper half waffle grips. I've been using those for a while. That's normally what I go with grip wise, so they're pretty comfortable in your hands and that kind of stuff. So went with those grips, and then I also like to use the ODI donuts, grip donuts. I really like these ODI ones specifically because they're a little thinner than the a lot of the other ones I've used in the past. So I always run some ODI grip donuts. I also added this Tusk brake cap. Really doesn't do anything, it's just kind of for looks. I think those always look cool, so I normally put one on the bike. They're relatively inexpensive too, so it's just kind of more of a looks thing, kind of complete the whole bar setup on it. Okay, so I did stick with the stock handlebars on this bike. I really like the way they feel, so I'm just going to stick with those for now. I did change out the Yamaha bar pad for a Pro Taper one, just to make it have a cleaner look. I like the way these Pro Taper ones fit on there, and also I added that there. I did move the bar mount up one position to give me some more room, but that's about all I've done with the bars. One thing I do always add to a bike is these fork bleeders. To get the air out of the forks, you instead of using a screwdriver to screw out the little nut, you can put these things on there and you press down on them and they let the air out your fork. So that's a really easy mod you can do to make it a lot easier on yourself when you're bleeding your forks. So you can see those in there. Another thing I did do was add some new tires onto it. Took the stock ones off and put on some Dunlop MX33s. It's a good tire. That's mostly what we run, so I took the Bridgestones that they had on it off and just put those on there right away, just because I've always liked the feeling of these, and this is kind of what we normally run. Another thing that we did right away is rip the stock chain and sprocket off and put a Vortex sprocket with a DID gold chain. You know, I always like to just get the stock chain and sprocket off and just put you know, a more reliable aftermarket set on there. So I did that right away along with the tires. Alright, hub decals. I've always thought those look pretty cool, so I threw some of those on the wheels, just a way to spice the bike up a bit. So for now I'm going to stick with the stock plastics and graphics. I like the way these look, so I'm going to run these for a while until they get worn out. I did notice though, which is pretty cool, this was only a few weeks ago that I realized this, but these plastics are actually made with the imprint of the logo in the plastic, so there's no decals. This is actually imprinted on. I don't know how well you can see that, but those are not going anywhere. That is imprinted into the bike, which is pretty awesome that they did that, because graphics always seem to end up peeling over time, but these are not going anywhere, which is pretty cool. So I'll run that for a while until I get my own set. I did put some attack graphics with my numbers on them from Rocky Mountain, you know, just so I can have a number when I'm racing and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's about it on the mods for the bike. So first I'm going to go in and show y'all how I got the bike as clean as it is now. I put a lot of effort into cleaning up my equipment. I always like it to look the best it can be. So I'll start off explaining to how I get the bike to this point after a long day of riding. First I'll spray it down, give it a good wash, and then from there I will throw some tire shine on it. You can see there, wheels look super good. Just throw some tire shine, and then after that I will go over the bike with some lubricant, you know, WD-40, just any kind of lubricant. Put it on the plastics and the seat, makes it shine up really well. Then from there I normally go ahead and polish the frame. So as you can see, I got the swing arm and the frame looking really shiny. I'll show you all a tip for that. First, what I do is go over it with steel wool, and then you know, I kind of use that as a base, and then I'll show you all over here. I use this. This is the aluminum polish that I use on my frames and swing arm. It is by Mother's, and it's called Mag and Aluminum Polish. You can get it from Walmart or any kind of store like that. They normally sell them. It's pretty cheap and inexpensive, and a great way to shine your frame up. So I just kind of spread the aluminum polish over the frame and along with the swing arm, and you kind of rub it in, and then you wipe it with a towel. It works super well. I've been using that for a long time now, and it really helps your frame look super good, and it stays like that for a while, which is pretty cool. So that's definitely something that you can use to shine your bike and make it look, you know, have that factory look to it. Alright, so I hope you guys like that. That's just what I'll do when I clean my bike to get it ready for the next day's worth of riding, and those are some of the changes that I make, you know, modification wise to any bike I got. It just personally makes me feel better on it, and that's how I like the bike set up. So hope you can implement some of those things in your own bike, and yeah, so that's about it. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, you know, dealing with getting the bike ready and stuff, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and put some more together. But I appreciate all y'all watching. Like and subscribe. Yeah.